Hello. Very good morning to all. My name is Rimsi Sood. I'm working as a coordinator student services and admissions at Delhi Metropolitan Education, popularly known as DME. Here as a host for this webinar, I welcome Preeti Goel ma'am, Principal, Sun Valley International School, Vaishali, Ghaziabad. She is the founder principal of the school. Over to you, Preeti ma'am.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Rimsi ma'am. This is the second time we are meeting in a week. Like we met on 18th now. Yes. Hello. Am I audible? Yes. Second time we are meeting. And again, I'll come back to that only. I would like to thank Delhi Metropolitan Education College because you are giving so much of your time for our children. And I know children are going to be benefited. In the last webinar also, they gained a lot. And in this webinar also, they are going to gain. Because this is something related to these children. And if you are going to tell them how to prepare for the competition, what all skills are required to prepare for the competition, it is going to help them. And when it is coming, we keep on telling them, but when it is coming from your side, it is going to make a difference. I'm 100% sure. And children, this is a golden opportunity for you people that the college is taking the initiative to guide you how to write your competitive exams, and before writing, what all preparations are needed to crack the examinations. So you have to listen to them very carefully, and you have prepare your questions after the session so that you can get the answers for your questions from the experts. All the experts of Delhi Metropolitan Education, they are involved in this webinar. So children, you must thank them because their time is valuable. Still, they have taken out their time for all of us. So once again, I am telling my children to be very alert in listening. You have joined, you have to listen to the session carefully, prepare your questions nicely so that you can ask and you get the answers. And supposing if your questions are more and time is less, so don't worry that our questions were not answered. You can send your questions to me and I'll send to them and they can give their answers later on. But first, let them speak and listen to them carefully. So thank you, Rimsi ma'am, again, and thank you to the speaker who is going to host the session this time, or take the session speaker. Who is the speaker? I am not getting the name.
No, I'm the one, ma'am.
Oh, you're the one? Okay. So I would like to thank you again. Thank you for taking up this session for our children. Thank you so much. Over to you. I'll not take much of the time. Yes, I'll be connected. I'll be listening. You can take over and you can start with the children. Thank you so much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anil Bhadauria, and I take care of, let's say, competitive part here. Take care of competitive part in time education, and I work here as a senior regional head. What I'll do out here in this particular session today here, initially I'll give you a basic idea first when we talk about the quantitative things, right, of session, what exactly it is and how is this different from your normal maths, right, the maths that we have done so far. And secondly, the way we approach maths so far, like in 10th and 12th, we did maths, a lot of maths, and we must have got very good marks also in 10th, and or let's say you'll be getting in 12th then. But I'll let you know how is this this quantitative session that comes in competitive exam is very different from what all we guys have done so far. And the approach that is needed to solve these questions is how different or not, right? So where this quantitative session part is concerned, in this case, initially in 5 to 7 minutes, I'll give you a brief idea, right? What are the different things needed apart from the knowledge, right? That we have gained so far here. And after that, let's say whatever we'll discuss here, I'll try and showcase that thing by giving you some example also, right? Let's say how important is thought process and all those things or not. And during the course of this, let's say our interaction here, if any query comes in your mind, you can write in the chat box at that point of time only, and I'll try and cater that query at that point of time only, or else you can keep those questions toward the end. Toward the end for 15-16 minutes, we'll keep it for question answer session then. But in case if you think there is something important and urgent you want to ask in between only, then two options you have. You can unmute and ask, or you can write in chat box also. So let's say if I give you a brief idea about the quantitative session part here, just 5 minutes, I'll take not more than this. You see how is this different, right? And why is different preparation needed for these kind of things? Then let's say if you talk about 10th class here, right? 10th class, I am not very clear, but we understand there were around 30 questions we had in quant section. Now I'm calling it quant, but we used to call it maths at that point of time, right? Mathematics. And to solve those 30 questions, I'm talking about the exam, right? Final exam here. They were used somewhere around 30 questions, right? It was 25 to 35, somewhere in between. And to solve those questions, close to 3 hours time used to given to us, right? Somewhere close to 3 hours time. But now you see when you go for a preparation, right? An aptitude examination there, in entire paper, you'll be getting 3 hours time, or let's say 2 hours, 2.5 hours, depending on this thing, what exam you are writing. And in that entire 2 to 3 hours time, you'll have to solve not only 30 question would be somewhere around 100, and they can go up to 150 as well, right? So you see, and the difficulty level of question, if you'll see that would in any case would not be less than the difficulty level of question that you saw in class 10 then, right? So you see, this will include question from the quant also, right? Reasoning also, English, quant, reasoning, English, all these things will come, and time would be given to you roughly 2 to 3 hours, depending on the different exam that you'll be writing in a coming time. So you see what the main difference that you'll be getting here. Number of questions, if you talk about, right, they have not reduced, they have increased significantly here, right? But the time, if you see, time has reduced significantly. So if I focus on quantity part only, right, let's say only quantity part, not entire paper, so question would be more than 30. And to solve these questions, you'll not have, let's say, more than 60 minutes for you with you. Now, when I'm saying 60 minutes, this I'm taking on the upper side, because in some paper, there is not a sectional time limit. You'll have to devote time as per your understanding. So if you are good out there, you can give somewhat less time. Otherwise, sometime you can give more time also. So here, if we go with the very same approach, the approach that we had out here, right, where we used to solve roughly 30 questions in 3 hours, and same approach we apply here, then very high chances are they will not be able to read all the question. Solving is a very distant dream then, right? We cannot even be able to solve all questions. So in these kind of exam, what becomes paramount importance is our speed, right? If our speed is not that good, right, then very high chances are that even though we may be very knowledgeable, right, still when it comes to solving those questions within some stipulated time limit, and we are not able to showcase our knowledge in that time, then chances are there that knowledge may not help, right? This is the one thing that is very important here. Speed is the first thing that is very important. And second thing, if you see here, it is not important how intelligent you are, right? Because till now, if you talk about 10th or you talk about 12th, right, here we get marks in terms of percent, right? Percent. Let's say if we say we score 95%, so that means marks are very good here. If you say, if you keep on coming in downward direction, then we'll say marks are good, not so good, or let's say average, below average, something like this. But in competitive examination, they do not work on this percentage, rather they work on percentile part. Percentile. right? And when we say percentile, percentile means relative positioning of ours, relative positioning of ours, right? Now, what is I meant by saying this particular thing? Let's say when I say my percentile is 50, right? Percentile is 50. So this means I am ahead of the 50% of the people who appeared for that particular exam then. Or you can say this is nothing but your ranking then here, right? Ranking. In our layman terms, we can say ranking. So in competitive examination, this is not important that how intelligent we are. What is important, are we better than other guys or not? And this comparative, right? Comparative checking makes this exam tough, right? Let's say if you are very good, but you have not done enough practice. Another person may not be that much good. If that person has done very good practice out there, then very high chances are there when it comes to scoring out there in exam, person may score some higher marks then. So we'll have to focus on speed part here, and we'll also have to see our relative positioning out there. Like relative positioning, we can check only when we write ample test in given time format, right? Or you can say by keeping the environment same, right? If that is a 2 hours, then we'll try and solve as many tests in 2 hours. 3 hours, then as many tests in 3 hours. Like this is what we see. Apart from these two things, speed and let's say this percentile part or comparative, let's say, analysis. Another thing that comes in mind here while solving is, so far as this thing is concerned here, not only in the knowledge part, right? Not only the knowledge, but interpretation is also very important. Now, what I mean by saying interpretation, I'll take some question to explain here, right? Sometimes what happens, we directly see the value where we apply the formula. But in aptitude, some question you may get which are not directly formula based. They may check our understanding of that subject also. Okay. So these three things, right? One is speed, how we build on speed. This is what you'll have to work on this thing, and you'll have to make yourself competitive with respect to other guys. And for that, we'll have to practice a lot, right? And this is very important, right? Otherwise, what may happen, let's say if you think you are very good and if you are not writing test or not solving question within that time period or stimulated time period, then very high chances are there when it comes to proving yourself, right? Showing your competency in given time limit, you'll not be able to show that particular thing, right? And if you do not believe me on this thing, you check yourself in some tests. You write some tests without time limit and write more or less same difficulty level test within time limit, then you see when we write very same test within time limit, our performance will, let's say, decrease there, and our score will decrease by at least 20% there, at least 20%. Because if you are not used to of managing pressure, right, then chances are there that will backfire then. And time management obviously becomes a part and parcel of that particular thing then. So this I said, let's say interpretation is also very important. So when we say aptitude, good thing about aptitude is what, let's say if you're very good in maths, right? There may be some guys, or let's say there are some guys, let's say, who still have maths with them. And some sort of guys, let's say either they do not like maths or they do not have maths with them right now, right? Then good part is whatever may be the category, right? You fall in. But if you are good with aptitude, you'll be able to solve most of the question which comes in aptitude. Because question which comes in aptitude, they require speed or they require practice and do not require much understanding beforehand then. And just to give you an idea, right? Let's say what kind of question comes under this particular thing, right? I'll take some example here, give you an idea. So 1-2 example I'll take in the beginning, I'll take 1-2, let's say warm-up kind of question, right? To see, let's say how we are responding here. And then I'll increase the difficulty level and interpretation level as well, right? So please, let's say, because this is an aptitude, and if I keep on speaking, then it may not give you the intended meaning which I want to communicate. So what I am doing, I'll do, rather I'll take 1-2 question here, right? Actual exam question I'll take here. So please ना जो भी पूछता हूँ इनके लिए paper pen ready रखना अपने पास. When I'll ask some question, I'll give you some time and I'll give you options as well, right? To give you an idea that what exactly aptitude is, right? If you are good with maths, still we can do it. If sometimes we are not that much good, still we can do most of the question, right? I'm talking about the aptitude part here, right? Because nowadays in competitive examination, if you'll see, there are different kind of exams we have, right? Let's say if you go for the DUJET, in DUJET, along with the aptitude, you'll get the question of higher maths as well, right? And higher maths will include like aapka differentiation, integration, vector, and all those things. Right? But along with this, some question comes from aptitude as well. But if you go for some other, let's say if you go for IPM, their maximum question come from the aptitude field. And aptitude, when we say, they cover maths only up to the 10th class, then up to 10th class. Minor understanding of other topic may come. So please see. और अब थोड़ा सा पेन पेंसिल रेडी रखेंगे पेपर, और एक दो मैं क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ ना, उनको देखो. Firstly, 1-2 question I'll take of very basic in nature, so that we can say how we think, right? And then I'll increase the difficulty level, or let's say interpretation level of 1-2 question there. देखो. First one, let's say if I start with, this is some box given to us, and in this box it is given we have 20 socks. 20 socks, and they are lying in a jumble up manner. Out of these 20, it is given 10 are of black color and remaining 10 are of white color. So total of 20 socks we have, and 10 are black. When I'm saying 10 black socks we have, so we'll assume these are 10 identical black socks we have, right? Identical. And these are 10 identical white socks. और जब हम नए socks की बात करते हैं तो कोई left और right socks नहीं होता है. You can wear in whatever legs you want to wear. Right? So 10 identical black socks, 10 identical white socks, and they are lying in a jumble up manner in this box. Now there is some person who is taking out these socks from this box one at a time here. So withdrawing these socks from this box one at a time, without seeing the color of these socks. Without seeing the color of these socks, person is taking out one socks at a time. Right? Now question may be asked, what's the minimum number of socks? Minimum number of socks one person should take out from this box by taking one socks at a time, so that person can say with certainty that now outside the box I have at least one pair of socks with me. I have at least one pair of socks with me. When I am saying at least one pair of socks with me, the pair of socks we understand means 2 socks of same color. They cannot be of different color. Like if one is black and other is white, we do not call it pair of socks then. Okay, so please take some time and answer this thing in chat box, or let's say you can unmute and speak also. कम से कम कितना socks एक-एक करके हमें इस box से निकालना चाहिए, so that we can say with certainty that now outside the box we have at least one pair of socks with us. Whatever comes in your mind, right? Or whatever answer you're getting, please do write in chat box, or let's say unmute and speak. Otherwise, तो पता ही नहीं लगेगा ना हम लोगों ने क्या सोचा है क्या नहीं सोचा है अभी. Okay, we'll wait for 30 seconds and then we'll continue. I hope क्वेश्चन सबको क्लियर है अभी. Please do write in chat box as well अगर हमारा कुछ आंसर है ना, because अभी हम लोग दूसरों को देख नहीं पाते हैं, और अगर कुछ भी रिस्पांस नहीं आएगा तो it becomes very difficult to judge. Yeah, see what kind of response we are getting here. Right, wrong, everything is acceptable. Please do write in chat box, or you unmute and speak.
Students, I hope that the question is clear. Do write, please, so that we know that the understanding is there. And by 12th standard, you would have done your probability and all. It's a simple question, a probability ka. So please do write.
Hello, I think chat box is disabled and mic is not on. Hello, take care, just find.
Ma'am, chat box is enabled. Participants have been muted. So they can freely write in the chat box. That will not be a problem.
If any participant want to talk, want to participate, then they can raise the hand. The host will unmute the participant. You can raise your hand and the host will unmute you. Yes. So that can be done.
Okay, so let's see first question together. Let's say if we are facing this. The purpose of asking this question is what, let's say when we see questions like this, right, in the beginning, very first impression look like as if these are the question from permutation, combination and probability, right?
We have one raised hand, sir. If we can give the person chance to speak. Deepti.
Good morning, ma'am. This is Deepti from Sun Valley. I'm computer teacher there. My students are messaging me on WhatsApp. They are not able to type in the chat box. Earlier it was not there. Now they can type. But unmute option is not available for all the participants. That's why they are not able to respond.
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, when they'll raise their hand, we will unmute them the way I have unmuted you. So if they want to answer, they can raise their hand and I will unmute them.
Okay, earlier chat box disabled. Earlier it was disabled, but now it is working.
Yes. At the time of answers, we will enable it. Otherwise, we will keep it disabled only.
Okay.
So we can probably give 30 more seconds to the participants if the chat is enabled, and then we can get the responses, and then, sir, you can go ahead.
Okay, please take another 30 seconds.
30 more seconds for you students to write your answers in the chat box. I hope that now you are able to write it. Deepti ma'am, would you like to share something?
Children, please write answers in the chat box now. Now it is working.
I think you can continue. You can continue. Very nice. The session is going on very nicely.
Yes, session is going on very nice, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving us time. You please carry on now.
Fine, sure, sir. Sure, ma'am. Sure. Right, sir. You can continue.
Okay, now please see. Let's say what my intention was while giving you this particular question. Sometimes what happened when we see questions like this, right? Very first, let's say, thing that strike in our mind that this is a question of permutation, combination, or of probability, right? And we start thinking in that manner. And sometimes when we think in that manner, if you have a very good understanding of that particular thing, you'll get your answer correct, right? You'll never face any problem. But even if I assume we do not have any understanding of that particular topic, still we can get these kind of answers correct here, right? And what should be our approach, as I said in the beginning, right? Along with the knowledge, if your, let's say, interpretation part is very good, still chances are there we'll do extremely good out there. And you see with me, let's say I'm not teaching maths out here today, so we'll go with a layman approach, right? We'll assume, let's say, being human being, we think logically and rationally. That way, if you go and we ask, minimum number of socks should be taken out from here, right? So that we can say with certainty we have at least one pair of socks with us outside with us. So two things will have to ensue. One, attempt has to be minimum. Secondly, we should have one pair of socks with certainty, means element of certainty has to be there. Now, rather than applying permutation, combination, all these things, let's say if I go with a layman term, what I'll do, I'll start taking out socks from here. And if we start taking out socks from here, so with the first socks is concerned, there we do not have anything in our control, right? That socks can turn out to be of any color because they are lying in a jumble up manner here. So let's say when you withdrawn and very first socks turn out to be of, let's say, black color. If this is the pure hypothetical, I've just assumed here, right? Hypothetically, that very first turn out to be black color. Let's say if you do not want to go with the black, you can take white as well. Now, very first socks, if turn out to be of black color, and now if we ask you to draw second socks. Now, for the second socks, there are two possibilities we have, right? Second socks could be of black color or of white color as well. Now, see, if second socks turn out to be of black color only, then you would say in two attempts only you'll have a pair of socks, right? But can we say with certainty that if first socks was of black color, then whatever may happen, our second socks would always be of black color? Because we'll have to bring an element of certainty out here. And with certainty, you cannot say this thing. You cannot say whatever may happen, second socks would always turn out to be of black color if our first was of black color. So in these kind of situation, what we do, we go with the worst scenario. And when we go with the worst scenario, what we'll assume? In worst scenario, what may happen, our second socks may turn out to be of white color. No, we cannot have anything worse than this, right? So in worst scenario, in 2 attempts, what actually is happening? We are getting 1 socks of each color, right? In 2 attempts only, getting 1 socks of each color, right? And this is the worst scenario we have. Nothing can go. In a most optimistic scenario, what could have happened? That if first was black, second could also turn out to be a black, and black would made a pair of black color of socks, right? In 2 attempts only. Now you go and draw third socks. Now, when you will be drawing third socks from here, so that third socks would be either black or white, whatever may be the case. If this is black, so can we say black and black will make a pair of black color of socks? And if this is white, then white and white will make a pair of socks out here. So in this case, if I now ask minimum number of socks one need to draw from here, so that person can say with certainty that now I have at least 1 pair of socks. So can we say answer has to be 3 here? Right? 3. And in this case, let's say the answer, just Priyanshu, the answer that Priyanshu given was perfectly correct, right? And this is very good also. You gave in very decent enough time here. So from here, what we can understand, when you talk about aptitude, knowledge is important. But if you, let's say, interpret from a layman way, then you find it much easier. Then let's say if whatever I discuss here, if I ask just one follow-up question on this one, right? Then I'll change the pattern here. Just one follow-up question. And you'll see, let's say, if we try and bring very same understanding in this question, can we do this thing or not? Worst scenario, again, you can take, let's say, if I take, there are 30 socks this time, we have here 30 socks in this box, and it is given 10 are of black color, 10 of white color, and let's say 10 are of black, white, and let's say green color. Let's take any 3 color here, right? I have taken black, white, and green. And if we keep our questions same, again, we are drawing 1 socks at a time from here. So what's the minimum number of socks we should take out from here, so that we can say with certainty, right? Certainty that we have at least 1 pair of socks with us. At least 1 pair of socks with us now. So can we now answer this thing a bit fastly here? Perfectly done. Now you see this CRAN, right? Yes, now you guys answer. This kind of thinking is expected in questions like this. It's not like where you can apply maths and then only you can get it. And Priyanshu, your answer is also precisely correct. In these kind of questions, if you think from the layman point of view, you would always find your answer. Look, you'll get correct answer, and that too in very less time. Avis, your answer is also correct, Avis. So what you guys did this time, Prachi, yours one is also correct. And what you did this time, again, we'll go with the worst scenario. And if you go with the worst scenario, so if first socks, what it can turn out to be of any color, let's say white, black. I have taken black here. And because we want to bring at least 1 pair of socks, that to be certainty and minimum number of attempt, right? So firstly, what can happen if you take the worst scenario? If something is true in worst scenario, would always be true. So if I draw and assume first socks turn out to be a black color, then second in worst scenario and third in worst scenario, they all may turn out to be of different color. So in 3 attempts, in worst scenario, we'll have 1 socks of each color. 3 attempts, in worst scenario, we'll have 1 socks of each color. The moment you'll go and draw the 4th socks now out here, that will turn out to be either black, white, or green. If that turn out to be black, then black and black will make a pair. White, then white and white will make a pair. Or last, if that turn out to be of green color, then green and green will make a pair of socks out there. So after doing our first question here, right? Or just abhi second wala pucha dekho, majority of people, you guys could answer this thing then. Reason is what? Once you start thinking in that direction, right? तो फिर हम लोग आंसर जल्दी लाने लगते हैं, लेकिन पहले कुछ प्रैक्टिस करना पड़ेगा so that we can start at least thinking in that direction. It should not be like this only formula based question would come. Just see one more, and then I have some already, just one more question I'll take on certainty here. See, I'm taking from this permutation combination only. Permutation combination, but it's not like you can do it only by permutation combination concept. You can do it using layman approach also. So what question says we have, let's say, 5 keys, right? And we have corresponding 5 locks. So what I said, 5 keys and corresponding 5 locks. So जो ताले हैं उन्हीं की चाबियां हैं, right? But we do not know correct pairing of keys and lock. What all we know, we have 5 keys and corresponding locks, but we do not know correct pairing of keys and lock. And in order to identify correct pairing of keys and lock, we are taking some attempts. And what does attempt means here? I'll take first key and I'll match up with the first lock, right? And that would be treated as single attempt, right? Then if that matches well and good, otherwise I'll take the very same key and match up with the second lock. And that would be taken as treated as a second attempt. So this is how we are making attempts here, right? And attempts we are making in order to identify the correct pairing of keys and lock. So question may be asked to find the minimum number of attempts required. Attempts required to correctly identify pairing of keys and lock with certainty. Now see, there are two things we ask in this question. A minimum number of attempts required to correctly identify the pairing of keys and lock with certainty, right? So two things. One, we'll have to minimize the number of attempts. Secondly, we'll have to bring an element of certainty. Element of certainty has to be there and attempt has to be minimum possible. The question is minimum number of attempts needed, right? And I'll give you options also here, right? So that you can choose from there. And I hope, let's say, we all must be familiar with the concept of factorial, right? When I write 5 factorial, we understand what this means. 5 factorial, you can write this way or this way also, right? Exclamation kind of sign when you put, this means 5 factorial, or you write L and then 5 within that L. This is also called factorial. And meaning of this thing is what? We start from here and we go in reverse direction till we reach to 1. And their product is our answer. So that way, if you come in our question, options are like 5 factorial is 1, 4 factorial, right? And it can be 25, 10, and 15. These are the 5 options given to us. And this 5 factorial meaning we understand is nothing but 120, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Similarly, if you go with a 4 factorial, multiply these only. So you can write this way. So these are the, let's say, 5 options if are given to us: 5 factorial, 4 factorial, 24, 10, and 15. So please choose one and write in chat box what we think is answer to this question here. And this is good. Many of you have given answer this time, and we are very fast also. So in this case, what we said, minimum number of attempt with element of certainty, right? With element of certainty. And this is better here, right? When we talk about any session, right and wrong, both are integral part of life. But we should at least communicate in this manner, right? We get to know also what we are thinking in direction, at least we are thinking. Nice, good. Now let's say here what we guys did, right? Some people have given answer 10, 15, and 5 factorial, that is 120 also, and 25 also, right? These all options are chosen in a very, very nice manner, right? What happens when we go for an aptitude and paper is formed, right, or made? There, they make options in such a manner, if you do a minor mistake, still you'll get that option out there in paper. So paper is made by taking a very, very, let's say, very, very high focus is given while even framing the options there as well. Right, and here the answer which we guys have given is good, right? At least we got many answers this time. And if you go with this approach here, right, and you apply permutation combination, and if you think this is a question strictly on permutation combination, this unnecessarily will become very time consuming. If you see this question with a layman approach, right, then see what should be our approach in this case then. And some of you give correct answers here also. Let's say if I assume these are the 5 locks we have, right, and 5 keys we'll have here, and we want to find out the minimum number of attempts needed to correctly identify the pairing of keys and lock with certainty. So minimum with element of certainty, right? These two things will focus here. Now, in this case, let's say if you start with the first key, let's say if we'll start with this one, and we understand there we have keys and corresponding locks, right? So with whatever key you start with, we understand this has to match with one of these 5 locks. Sorry. this has to match with one of these 5 locks. Now in that case, now if I ask you to match this thing with the first lock, can we say with certainty in first go only this will go and match? Because if you want to bring an element of certainty, you cannot say whatever may happen every time this will go and match with our first lock only. So we'll go with the worst scenario here. And if you take the worst scenario, so can we say first this key will not match up with this? In a similar manner, in worst scenario may not match up with this also. Same thing here and same thing here. Now in worst scenario, if this first key has not matched or did not match with any one of these 4 here, this I am taking the worst scenario, right? Worst scenario that would always stand true, right? If I take a most optimistic scenario, that may or may not be true in every scenario. Otherwise, most optimistic scenario is what? You may assume this will go and match in the first attempt only, right? So that way. So in this case, what actually has happened, let's say if you take your key and match up with the first lock, you cannot say with certainty. Similarly, if you take your same key and match up with the second lock, again, we cannot say with certainty. And in this manner, if you match with the first 4 lock, and if it did not match with any of these 4 lock, so can we say with certainty now it has to match with this one? It has to match with this one here. क्योंकि 5 में से किसी ना किसी में तो लग नहीं था, और 4 में अगर worst scenario में नहीं लगी है, so can we say this now has to match with the 5th lock? And when we are saying it has to match with the 5th lock, तो अब हमें मिला के नहीं देखना चाहिए. Why to waste our one attempt when we know it was a corresponding pair of keys and lock? Corresponding pair of keys and lock. And here we observe it did not match with the first 4 lock. So can we say with certainty it has to match with the 4th lock? So please एक बार chat box में लिखना, is this clear to all of us? If there are 5 keys and 5 lock and we want to get the correct pairing of keys and lock for this particular one, so we would like to take only 4 attempt. Is this clear to all of us? Let's say अब हम लोगों को केवल 4 ही attempt लेने पड़ेंगे, 5वां attempt हम बर्बाद अपना नहीं करेंगे, right? Because we want to minimize them. So here we observe when there were 5 keys and 5 lock, in 4 attempt only we could find out correct pairing of 1 key and lock. Now if we understood this, so whatever we did when we had 5 keys and 5 lock, same thing can be done now when we have 4 keys and 4 lock. 1 key is already taken by this lock. Now you come to this key here. इसके लिए भी जब ऐसे ही start करोगे match up with the first lock, second lock and third lock, and if it does not match with these 3 locks, can we say with certainty it has to match with the 4th lock then? अगर यहाँ भी नहीं मिला, यहाँ भी नहीं मिला, यहाँ भी नहीं मिला, तो यहाँ तो मिलना ही मिलना पड़ेगा. So using that approach, can we say when there are 4 keys and 4 lock, we would take only 3 attempts? And here, similar manner, 3 keys, 3 lock, we're left with 2 attempts only. And then 2 keys, 2 lock, only 1 attempt. और लास्ट में जब एक ही ताला और एक ही चाबी रह जाएगी तो कोई अटेम्प्ट लेने की जरूरत ही नहीं है ना, डायरेक्टली मैच कर जाना चाहिए. So what we saw here in our this case, अगर आप देखोगे initially we took 4 attempt, then 3 attempt, 2 attempt and 1 attempt, and our question was to find the minimum number of attempt needed. Minimum number of attempt needed. तो इस वाले का अब अगर लॉजिकली देखोगे तो इनको क्या करना चाहिए? अगर परमुटेशन लगाओगे तो सोचोगे प्लस करना है या मल्टीप्लाई करना है. लेमन टर्म में जाओगे तो बोलोगे अगर मैंने 4 बार पहले चाबी मिलाई और 3 बार फिर मिलाई और पूछूं अभी तक कितने बार मिलाई है, तो 12 टाइम्स तो नहीं बोलोगे ना. 4 टाइम्स फर्स्ट फॉलोड बाय 3 मोर टाइम्स, सो विल से वी डिड इट 7 टाइम्स हियर. तो अगर पूछूं टोटल कितना अटेम्प्ट हमने अभी तक लिया है, तो दैट वुड सिंपली बी एडिशन ऑफ दिस थिंग. इट्स लाइक दिस ना, आपने पहले 4 लड्डू खाए, थोड़ी देर बाद 3 लड्डू और खा लिए, और कोई बोलता है अभी तक आपने कितने लड्डू खाए हैं, राइट? लड्डू खाए तो 4 + 3 7 विल से इन दैट केस. So that directly would become our answer. So you see the way we did this one, this is what we mean by saying aptitude. मतलब आपको फॉर्मूला वाले जो मेथड है जिसमें इंटीग्रेशन, डिफरेंशिएशन, हायर मैथ्स आएगी, वो तो आनी ही चाहिए, उसको तो प्रैक्टिस हम करेंगे ही करेंगे. बट along with that, when we say aptitude, aptitude is something where even if you do not have very high understanding of mathematics, it still can be developed. And if you have decent enough understanding of mathematics, then can be developed in much less time, and given some practice, you can do question very fastly as well. Right? Now you see this question, अगर हम permutation लगाते हैं ना, तो 5 locks, 5 keys, तो सबसे पहला मन में आता है 5 things can be arranged in 5 factorial ways, तो 120 हमारा आंसर आता है. इसी में हम थोड़ी सी गलती और करते हैं ना, अगर हमने जो भी पहले वाले लॉक के लिए 4 में चाबी मिलाने का 5 में नहीं मिलाई, अगर हम 5 में भी मिला देते तो ये 4 3 2 1 ना आके क्या आता, 5 4 3 2 1 आता। पहले में 5, इससे आंसर 15 आ जाता। और आप देखो छोटी भी गलती करोगे ना उसके बाद भी वो ऑप्शन आपको वहां मिलेगा, इसलिए ऑप्शंस को बहुत ध्यान से रखा जाता है। तो एक मैं थोड़ा क्वेश्चन और पूछता हूँ आपसे, देखो यहाँ पे थोड़ा इतना टाइम है उसके हिसाब से तो फिर मैं क्वेश्चन आंसर्स पे आता हूँ दोस्त। आई हैड, हाँ प्लीज एक बार ये रीड करके देखो। दिस इज ऑल्सो क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम योर एक्चुअल एग्जाम, राइट? John celebrated his 8th birthday in 2004, one day before his father's 8th birthday. Then find the age difference of John and his father. So see, these are the answers given, and one option says data inadequate as well. So please see and then write. 10 attempt was correct answer for that one. Perfectly done. So please read this question. Take some time and answer. क्या बोल रहे हैं, एक ही साल में जॉन और जॉन के पापा दोनों ने 8th बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट किया है। Year given is 2004 here, right? In the same year, John and John father both have celebrated their 8th birthday. Then find the age difference between them. John और John के पापा की एज का डिफरेंस कितना होगा? This is what we'll try and calculate here. And 3 options says 18, 22 and 24, and one says this is not possible. Means data is inadequate. Data is inadequate. बहुत अच्छा है प्राची from your side. Two guys have been Prachi, Pransu, this is really very good. I really like it when people communicate, right? We communicate करना बहुत जरूरी होता है। अगर communication two way नहीं होगा ना, then things sometimes become not, हाँ we find it difficult to communicate the way we intend to communicate then. अच्छा, इस क्वेश्चन का ना आंसर देने के साथ ना आप एक चीज और बताओ। अभी इस क्वेश्चन को थोड़ी देर के लिए भूल जाते हैं, पहले थोड़ा सोच के बोलना, क्या हर बंदे को हर साल में अपना बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट करने का ऑप्शन मिलता है? मतलब क्या हम कह सकते हैं कोई भी बंदा हो हर साल में उसको अपना बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट करने का ऑप्शन मिलता है, या कुछ बंदे ऐसे भी होते हैं जिनको हर साल सेलिब्रेट करने का ऑप्शन ना मिलता हो? अब इस वाले क्वेश्चन में जो अभी हमने किया है ना, या जो पूछा है, अब देखो अगर ये बहुत ठीक है करके, हाँ इसमें सिर्फ एक बेसिक सा कॉन्सेप्ट क्या लेके आए थे, लीप ईयर और नॉन लीप ईयर का लेके आए थे, कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ लीप ईयर एंड नॉन लीप ईयर। अब देखो हम सब लोगों को पता है, अगर मैं बोलता हूं कि मेरा बर्थडे 29 फेब को आता है, तो इससे क्या पता लगेगा आपको? 29 फेब तो हर साल नहीं आती है ना। 29 फेब कब आएगी? जब हमारा ईयर लीप ईयर होगा, नहीं तो नहीं आती। तो यानी कुछ ऐसे बंदे भी हो सकते हैं, अगर मान लो मैंने 29 फेब 2004 में अगर बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट किया है, and we understand how we identify leap year, we divide year by 4. If that is perfectly divisible, then we call it leap year, otherwise not. तो अगर 2004 हमारा leap year है, 4 से perfectly divisible है, right? तो 2005 जाओगे, 2006 and 7 कह सकते हैं ये 4 से divisible नहीं, तो ये leap year नहीं होंगे। तो person who was born on this date, right, 29th Feb, will get the opportunity to celebrate the birthday in year 2004, but 5, 6 और 7 में opportunity नहीं मिलेगी। Being non-leap year, person will not get 29th Feb out there. अब मनाने को तो आप साल में किसी दिन मना लो, उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, लेकिन बर्थडे तो 29th Feb ही माना जाएगा। तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि अगर यहाँ पर उसने मनाया है 2004 में, so when person will get the next opportunity to celebrate the birthday when next leap year would come. तो कह सकते हैं कुछ बंदे ऐसे भी हो सकते हैं where they'll not get the opportunity to celebrate the birthday every year, rather they get this opportunity every 4 years. Every 4 years. तो अब इस वाले केस में जैसे उन्होंने बोला है, जॉन और जॉन का पापा दोनों सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं ना, जॉन एंड जॉन फादर बोथ आर सेलिब्रेटिंग 8th बर्थडे, तो दोनों 8 साल के तो नहीं हो सकते हैं ना, ये तो सेंस नहीं बनता है ना। तो इस केस में ये तो पक्का है, अगर जॉन अपना 8th बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट कर रहा है तो जॉन मस्ट बी ऑफ 8 ईयर ओनली, क्योंकि बच्चा है ना, एवरी ईयर वुड बी गेटिंग दिस। लेकिन अगर इसका फादर भी 8th बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट कर रहा है, राइट, तो इससे पता लगता है जॉन फादर कैन नॉट बी ऑफ 8 ईयर्स, राइट, देन हाउ कैन जॉन एंड जॉन्स फादर एज बी सेम। तो अब इस केस में क्या अभी तक जो हमने डिस्कस किया है, यूजिंग दैट अंडरस्टैंडिंग, क्या हम लोग यहाँ बता सकते हैं अगर जॉन की एज 8 है तो इसके जॉन के फादर की एज क्या होनी चाहिए अभी? परफेक्टली डन, एज दिस आंसर्ड हियर, राइट? हाँ, दिस कार्तिकेय जैसे आपने सबने बताया है दोस्त, विनय ने बताया है, परफेक्टली डन। हाँ, तो इस केस में इसकी एज कितनी होनी चाहिए फादर की? Father is also celebrating 8th birthday, but in this case we are saying this would come after every 4 year. हर 4 साल में आ रहा है, तो मतलब आप अपना 8th birthday celebrate कर रहे हो, and that is coming every 4 years. So can we say age of father must be 32? So now in this question directly we can say one person is 8-year-old, another person is 32-year-old, but they ask the difference in their ages, right? So one is 8, another is 32. So can we say difference in ages directly will turn out to be this? So this would become our final answer. हाँ, बिल्कुल सही है जो आप लोगों ने बोला है ना अभी, 24 प्रिसाइसली करेक्ट है सबका। तो इनको जो अभी थोड़ा क्वेश्चन बताया है ना, इससे थोड़ा तो आइडिया लगा होगा। इसी तरह के ना एक दो क्वेश्चन हमारे बहुत वियर्ड से भी आ जाते हैं, जैसे ये तो मैंने अभी डायरेक्ट लिखा, कभी कभी ना को आई हैड मोर क्वेश्चन इन माइंड। तो एक क्वेश्चन मैं अपनी तरफ से बता देता हूँ ना, जब अभी आप देखते हो ना, अपनी सीरीज फॉर्मेशन की बात की होगी, नंबर फॉर्मेशन की बात की होगी, जैसे अगर मैं कभी लिखता हूँ 2 4 6 8 10, दिस इज द लास्ट वन आई एम टेकिंग, राइट? उसके बाद आई विल टेक सम क्वेरीज इफ यू गाइस विल हैव। तो अगर ऐसे लिखा होता ना 2 4 6 8 10, देन वी मे आस्क व्हाट कम्स इन नेक्स्ट इन लाइन, एंड दीस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस आर कॉल्ड क्वेश्चन ऑन सीरीज, राइट? एंड वी ट्राई एंड फाइंड आउट व्हाट पैटर्न वी हैव हियर, सेम पैटर्न वी ट्राई एंड अप्लाई हियर, सेम पैटर्न वी ट्राई एंड अप्लाई। हाँ, बिल्कुल ठीक है दोस्त, 12 आता है। ये मैंने जो बोला दिस वाज अ वेरी डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन हियर। बस अब जब थोड़ा सा आगे जाते हो ना, कभी कभी एग्जाम में आएंगे तो वो थोड़े से टीडियस क्वेश्चन बना देते हैं, तो इस तरह की भी सीरीज आ सकती है। और सीरीज ना कभी कभी मिसलेनियस नेचर की भी हो सकती है। मिसलेनियस नेचर बहुत अच्छा है, जैसे आपने बताया ना अभी नेहाल, बिल्कुल ठीक है। अब देखो इस तरह की जब सीरीज मिसलेनियस आते हैं तो इनमें क्या हो सकता है, जरूरी नहीं वो एक ही नंबर की तरह बिहेव कर रहे हो। जैसे इसको मैंने सब इसलिए ले लिया कि अब टाइम थोड़ा कम है, तो मैंने सोचा मैं ही बता देता हूँ, नहीं तो पहले मैं आपसे ही पूछता। अगर 49 1625 3649 को अगर आप फेस वैल्यू पे लोगे, यू विल फाइंड इट वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू फाइंड कोरिलेशन। लेकिन अगर यहाँ पे आप एक कॉमा विजुलाइज कर लो, यहाँ पे एक कॉमा विजुलाइज कर लो, विजुलाइज एंड विजुलाइज, तो देखोगे ये 2 का स्क्वायर, ये 3 का स्क्वायर, 4 स्क्वायर 5 स्क्वायर, 6 स्क्वायर 7 स्क्वायर, 8 square 9 square. So what is supposed to come next in line? 2 squares they are writing together here. Till 9 we are done. So next one would be 10 square, and then 11 square. 10 square is what? 100. 11 square is 121. So this would directly become our answer. हाँ, बिल्कुल सही है दिसी आपका अभी अभी इसी सबका। मतलब अभी इस तरह के भी जब फिर मिसलेनियस क्वेश्चन आएंगे, तो मोर मिसलेनियस क्वेश्चन यू प्रैक्टिस, राइट, बेटर यू विल बिकम देन। इसी तरह का अगर मैं आपको एक एक्चुअल एग्जाम क्वेश्चन बताता हूँ, इसका आप स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो, घर में देखना, पहले खुद ट्राई करना इसको अच्छे से, और फिर अगर प्रॉब्लम आता है तो आप गूगल पे सर्च कर लेना आंसर ना, लेकिन पहले नहीं देखना। अगर पहले ही देखो तो फिर लर्निंग वाला पॉइंट नहीं रह जाएगा वहां पे ना, क्योंकि कुछ क्वेश्चन बहुत मिसलेनियस होते हैं। मिसलेनियस किस कंटेक्स्ट में आ सकते हैं, जैसे अगर मैं कभी लिखता हूँ ना, अगर हम प्लैनेट्स की बात करते हैं, जब थोड़ी टफनेस बढ़ाते हैं, प्लैनेट्स का जो इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर ऑफ डिस्टेंस होता है फ्रॉम द सन, राइट, अरेंजमेंट ऑफ प्लैनेट इन इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर ऑफ डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम सन, कुछ ऐसा होता है, मरकरी, वीनस, अर्थ, मार्स, जुपिटर, सैटर्न, यूरेनस, नेपच्यून। ये मैंने हाफ मतलब इनिशियल्स ही लिखे हैं, बाकी नहीं लिखा है। Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. This is the order of planet in increasing order of a distance from Sun. Increasing order of a distance from Sun. तो मिसलेनियस कैटेगरी में ऐसे भी आ सकता था, आपको ऐसे दे सकते थे M, B, E, M, J, S, and we may ask you what would come next in line. तो अगर आप बेसिक अगर देखते रहोगे तो हो सकता है शायद आपका आंसर ही ना आए, और अगर नहीं आएगा, अगर ये नहीं पता होता ना, तो फिर हम ये काम कर ही नहीं सकते थे। ओके, तो अब देखो जो मैंने थोड़ा बताना चाहा था, that I guess I'm more or less done. What exactly aptitude is, what kind of preparation is needed, you'll have to do a lot of practice out there. This is one thing, and interpretation is way more important. बिल्कुल सही है, यस जो आपने बोला है बिल्कुल ठीक है। यहाँ पे अभी एक बार ना आपको अगर किसी की कुछ क्वेरी है तो प्लीज नाउ यू गाइस कैन आस्क, अनम्यूट एंड आस्क, राइट, इफ व्हाट हैज हैपेंड। हाँ I guess yes has raised the hand, ma'am. I'm not very clear with the, let's say, functioning of this Zoom, because I do not work on this one. Let's say, so please, if someone can unmute, yes, please unmute, so that if we want to ask some question, can ask.
Yes, you can unmute, Rolly, ma'am. We have got few raised hands.
Ma'am, I've unmuted Yash.
Yes, Yash, you can please go ahead.
Ma'am, the answer will be A because it is looking like month's name, ma'am. January, February.
Your answer was correct, right? ये मैंने आपको पहले अभी आपने जब chat में लिखा था ना, there only I said yes. Your answer was precisely correct. This is what we are saying, right? Till the time you will not do some practice like this, right? अब जैसे आपने बोला ना, ये initials है month के, Jan, Feb, March, April. जिसने अगर नहीं किया है ना first time में, वो बंदा सोच भी नहीं सकता ऐसा. And this is where practice comes in picture, right? जैसे अगर आपको मैं थोड़ा अगर analogy बताता हूँ, जैसे ना कोई क्राइम पेट्रोल करके एक सीरियल आता था या भी आता है, मुझे उतना आइडिया नहीं है. अगर आप उतना ना 3-4 सीरियल देख लो उसके ना एपिसोड, तो देखना आप भी ना आधे डिटेक्टिव बन जाओगे. रीजन क्या है कि एटलीस्ट यू विल स्टार्ट थिंकिंग इन दैट डायरेक्शन, राइट? कोई आपके दरवाजे पे जब रिंग करेगा, आप बोलोगे ये भी हो सकता है, ये भी हो सकता है, ये भी हो सकता है. तो हम लोगों का जो चाइल्ड का जो हम लोगों का जो माइंड होता है ना, दैट इज एन एम्प्टी माइंड काइंड ऑफ थिंग, राइट? व्हाट वी फीड इन दैट वन, आवर माइंड स्टार्ट थिंकिंग इन दैट डायरेक्शन. इसलिए जब आप एप्टीट्यूड की तैयारी करो या किसी की भी तैयारी करते हो, तो सबसे पहले आपको क्या करना होता है, उस तरह का थोड़ा सोचना चाहिए. और जब सोचते हो तो हमारी थॉट प्रोसेस अपने आप उस डायरेक्शन में जाना स्टार्ट करता है. Okay, let's say, so if anyone has any query, please ask. Let's say related to aptitude, now not related to questions here, right? Questions was just to give you an idea what aptitude is, what kind of questions can come in aptitude. Obviously practice you'll have to do from your side, right? And we also help in this particular thing, right? Let's say if you guys are, some of you are interested, then you can talk to, let's say, Sekhar sir, right, who conducted this particular session here. They'll be helping in that particular thing. So ma'am, Salim also has raised the hand, so please unmute Salim also. Yes. Do I also have authority to unmute? No. Okay, so anyone if has any. ये क्या कर रहे हो भाई?
Rolly ma'am, I think you need to mute him again.
Okay, let's say ma'am, if anyone has any query, or let's say on behalf of anyone, if anyone want to ask, please ask. Otherwise, we'll keep it till here only then.
Students, you can write your query in the chat box as well. And otherwise, you can ask him if you have any queries.
I don't think so. There is any query, ma'am, from anyone.
As far as this question which you have asked, right, for this you'll have to go through some practice material, and that too of that exam. Let's say if you are focusing for, let's say, BBA, then you'll have to take the material of BBA. If you are going for CLAT, then material for CLAT. So material is not common for all of them, right? Depending on this thing, what particular exam you are focusing, or what kind of career you are focusing. Let's say if I am looking for making my career in, let's say, this legal side, then the material would be different. And if you are going for, let's say, DUJET, something where you'll do BBA with the esteemed college of our country, then again material would be slightly different. Hotel industry, hotel management, if you want to enter in, then material is different. So here, when you finalize this thing, what exactly you want to do, you can have material of that sort. And same thing, let's say we said, right, let's say this Ekasa also must have told you, let's say these kind of thing, we also help you in preparing. So here we provide material of that sort also. Let's say, so you can take us from us, or let's say from wherever you want. But material is available in market, right? Depending on this thing, what exactly you want to do. No, engineering exam, Priyanshu, is slightly different, right? In engineering exam, they do not ask question only from aptitude. In engineering exam, difficulty level will increase significantly because they do not check your aptitude out there. They check your absolute knowledge. Physics, chemistry, maths, all those things which you have gone through, right? Question would come from there. So that's why we call it aptitude when it comes to competitive exam for BBA and all these things, MBA. But in engineering, we do not call it this. You can understand this well. Let's say when you prepare for BBA, you prepare for how much time? 6 months, 1 year, something like this. And if you're aware, guys who prepare for engineering, they start preparing from class 8, right? You see FITG and all those kind of institute which prepare for this thing. They take you in class 8 only, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. They prepare you for that exam for 3-4 years. right? So difficulty level that you'll be expecting here would be way higher than this, right? And they will check your absolute knowledge of those subjects, right? Here we check your aptitude, right? Aptitude means how you think, right? How you interpret when things are given to us. I hope, Priyanshu, I could answer your question here. So yes, I may not be a right person to suggest for GMAINS, right? Because I'm a person who deal in aptitude. Though if you want some general thing, I may guide you, but otherwise you look for some specific person who discuss in that direction, right? Because guidance, if you are not good in something and still if you are guiding, then that is not something good, right? That should be avoided. So you ask someone who is, let's say, expert in that field only, engineering field, and for that, let's say nowadays a lot of, let's say, institute provided, you call them and they'll help you with that particular thing. Then aptitude part, if you ask anything, I'll be of some help here. So in my opinion, let's say, ma'am, nobody's have queries further. So can we keep it till here only then? Sekhar sir, are you there?
Yes, I think we can conclude, Rimsi ma'am. There are no further queries.
Sure, ma'am. Thanks a lot, sir, for enlightening us. It will really help the students to achieve their goals. And students, I hope today's webinar was helpful for you to choose a right path for your preparation of competitive exams. Now I hand it over to Parul Malhotra, ma'am. Is there Parul Malhotra, ma'am, available?
Parul ma'am, you are muted. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, sir, for this informative webinar. I would like to thank our resource person, Mr. Anil Bhadoria, Regional Head Time and Delhi Metropolitan Education, on behalf of our school management. Today's webinar was full of knowledge and really insightful. Indeed, this webinar has really inspired the students. So thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time, and students for being a patient listener. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. It was very nice interacting with the student and you also, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Parul, ma'am. Over to you, Shalini, ma'am.
Yes, thank you one and all. I would like to thank Preeti ma'am for the continuous association with your school. It is such an enriching experience. I would also like to thank my director, sir, Ravikant Swami, sir, who is the constant support and strength for all of us to continue doing these webinars. Anil sir, it was such an enlightening session. I am going to show this recording to my daughter as well, with your due permission. So it was really a wonderful session. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, we prepared for CAT and all like way back. I did it about 20 years back, but now coming back to the same things and all, it was such an enriching experience. Shekhar sir, I know you are there, so thank you for connecting and bringing Anil sir on board. I would also like to thank all the students who have patiently listened to all this. I hope that the things are clearer to you. In case you have any questions regarding the preparation and all, or anybody wants to interact with Anil sir, you can definitely get in touch with us and we will direct you to him. So that is a possibility. And at the end, I would like to thank my outreach team, Rimsi ma'am, Roli ma'am. You are the backbone of conducting these webinars. So thank you so much, all of you. Thank you for joining in. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And I'm really honored, ma'am. You also liked it. Thank
you. Yes, I liked it. Yeah.
Okay, so can I leave, ma'am, now?
Yes, sure, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.